Look what the beautiful people out here, they're all chanting for you.
Right now, as you're watching this, the world is rejoicing. Iranians all across the globe have gone full MAGA, and the Democrats and the legacy media are having a complete and total meltdown. They're being forced, kicking and screaming, to actually report the truth about what's happening on the streets of Iran, on the streets of Los Angeles, on the streets of London, in living rooms all across America. Not only are Trump's polls surging, but people, most especially the Iranian people all over the world, are celebrating. They're dancing, they're singing, they're blowing whistles and setting off fireworks. And they are publicly thanking one man, President Donald J. Trump, for making their dream come true. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, here to help you make sense of this absolutely extraordinary historical moment with breaking news and analysis you're not going to get anywhere else, so you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Take a look at these scenes from inside Iran. Now, when news broke that Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei had been killed in a joint U.S.-Israeli airstrike on his Tehran compound, something absolutely remarkable happened. Iranians, we're not talking the regime's paid mourners or the organized propaganda rallies, but real, ordinary Iranians poured out into the streets by the thousands. In Tehran, in Isfahan, in Shiraz, people were dancing to loud Persian music, honking car horns, setting off fireworks, chanting freedom from their balconies, and even toppling monuments to Khamenei. But as it turns out, that was all just the beginning. Iranians around the world exploded with joy. In Los Angeles, home to the largest Iranian population outside the Middle East, CBS News reporters were on the ground, and they could not hide what they were seeing and hearing.
We want to say thank you to President Trump. This is the only person who supported us in the last 50 years. Every single people in Iran knew that the only way that this regime is going to go away is that to attack them.
For the first time in their lives, many here are expressing optimism for a new life in Iran.
And of course, as we saw earlier, what worldwide celebration would be complete without the iconic Trump dance? I mean, this is astonishing. The Trump dance has gone global. It's gone as Iranians all over the world celebrate number 47 as the true leader of the free world. It's amazing. And there's a double significance to that. It's not just celebratory. In Persian culture, dance is one of the highest ways you can honor someone. So to perform a dance in someone's honor is one of the highest tributes that you can possibly pay to that person. So what we're seeing all over the world is the highest honor that the Iranian people can bestow on Donald J. Trump. Now, make no mistake, the Democrats and the legacy media have absolutely no idea how to handle this. I mean, they're literally gobsmacked, as you would say, across the pond. The legacy media, in particular, they are being forced to interrupt their usual Trump bashing to report the news that Iranians, by the literal millions, are celebrating number 47. And even reporters are pushing back on their executives, like this CBS reporter in Austin, Texas. Check this out.
What does that mean? It means they don't want us to focus on this. Alright. Well, I am. There's a lot of mixed opinions across Austin about the joint attack between the United States and Israel against Iran that happened early this morning. Some people, like this group behind me, are thanking Trump and the United States government for following through with this attack against Iran, while other people across the city say there needs to be more peace in the Middle East. The strike is drawing a variety of...
I don't know if you were able to hear that, but that reporter, he was sent a text by his higher-ups that he was not to report on all the support and celebrations that Trump was getting there. He was just focus on the dismal liberal temper tantrums, and that's it. And the guy's like, screw that. I'm reporting on this. This is what's happening. So now we're even seeing an uprising in the legacy media. It can't get better than that. They could try to spin it all they want. They could try to frame this in any way they want. But they can't spin the polls. And the polls are telling a story that has Democrats absolutely terrified heading into the 2026 midterms. Wait until you see this. But first, the crypto markets, they're, shall we say, a little shaky. But this is exactly when patriots win. Let's be clear. Moments like this are unsettling, right? Prices dip, headlines scream, and the so-called experts tell everyday Americans to sit tight and do nothing. But if you studied history, really studied it, you know something crucial. Every major leap forward begins with a pullback. Crypto has never moved in straight lines. It shakes out the weak hands, and then time and time again, it surges higher, rewarding those who understand the moment they were in. This isn't chaos. This is a reset. While political dysfunction and economic uncertainty continue to rattle the system, smart patriots are doing what they've always done. They're staying calm. They're thinking long term. They're positioning themselves for the rebound. That's why so many families, including my own, are turning to Block Trust IRA, not out of panic, but out of confidence. Their Animus AI technology works around the clock, helping safeguard your assets through volatility, bank disruptions, and market whiplash. So you don't have to stare at charts all day wondering what comes next. But here's the inside line. Animus AI doesn't just play defense. It's lying in wait. It's positioned to be the very first one off the starting blocks the second the bull starts running again. And in crypto, it always runs again. This is about building resilience. This is about protecting your family's future. And yes, this is about being ready when the next move up comes, as it always has. Head on over to turleytalkscrypto.com right now and take advantage of a free $2,500 funding bonus when you get started. I've been a longtime client of Block Trust. I love them. I know you will too. Click on that link below right now.
The public reaction is likely to be favorable. And I think these Democrats are kind of trapped because they exist in a party whose membership overwhelmingly despises Donald Trump. It's been called Trump derangement syndrome, and there's something to that. And the result is that these Democrats, with rare exceptions, John Fetterman today, of course, was the one we just heard from, are opposed to this because they feel they must be. That they feel their job in life is to resist and oppose Donald Trump in every way, almost no matter what he does. So I think that accounts for the political reaction on the Democratic side here. Now, over time, those who are critical may feel vindicated if things start to go Bailey, but if they don't, they're going to be stuck with this. They're going to be the people that it will be argued didn't want to take this evil Iranian regime down. If the Iranian machine goes down and things turn out well in Iran, that will be a burden around their necks.
That's Britt Hume, and he's absolutely right about this being popular. Insider Advantage, one of the most accurate pollsters of 2024, they just dropped a bomb on the Democrats and their allies in the legacy media. 54% of likely voters support this military action against the Iranian regime. Now, what's so fascinating is that figure, 54%, overlaps perfectly with the same finding of the Reagan National Defense Survey, but that was taken back in December. So it was a hypothetical question. Would you support military action against Iran? 54% said yes in that survey. So that's a fascinating, exact overlap between the real and the hypothetical. A YouGov poll just asked, do you approve of the killing of Ayatollah Khamenei? 40% said yes. 31% said no. There were obviously a lot of undecideds in the poll. They didn't quite understand. By the way, just like that ridiculous Reuters poll that just came out that claimed 70% of the country opposes this military operation, that included 30 or 40% unsure responses. They put the unsure, I'm not sure, into the opposition. So it was patently dishonest. Now, here's where the political earthquake really starts to hit, because this isn't just about polling on Iran. This is about the Democrat Party tearing itself apart. And I mean that literally. The New York Times, to their credit, reported that Trump's Iran strikes have exposed what they call subtle divisions within the Democrat Party. In other words, this military action is threatening to split the party wide open. Okay, so on one side, you got the progressive wing, people like Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, who are, of course, flipping out over all of this. But on the other side, you got, more moderate Democrats who are openly breaking ranks and publicly praising Trump. It's not just Senator John Fetterman. Representative Josh Gottheimer of New Jersey, he came out and praised Trump for defending national security and being willing to do what's right and necessary to produce real peace in the region. Representative Greg Landsman of Ohio, he's another Democrat. He said he intends to vote against any resolution that would limit Trump's military actions against Iran. Democrat strategist Doug Schoen, he's all in. He's actually excoriating his fellow Democrats today for their opposition to Trump. And so, yes, there is a very clear rift opening up inside the Democrat Party, which I would argue is a hangover or an extension from the civil war that erupted after October 7th between the pro-Palestinian progressive wing and the pro-Israeli liberal wing that we saw erupt on college campuses all across the country. Those two factions are clashing once again because of this regime change operation. The pro-Israelis are all for it, whereas the pro-Palestinian wing is coming out against it. Now, to be fair, there is a tad bit of a rift inside MAGA over this as well. Tucker Carlson called the strikes absolutely disgusting and evil. Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course, is just flipping out over this. But here's the reality. I'm sorry, but all the polls show Republicans overwhelmingly support this, just as they overwhelmingly supported the bombing of the Iranian nuclear facilities in June. The MAGA civil war narrative is a fantasy. And even the New York Times is tacitly admitting that. It's the Democrat civil war that we're going to want to keep an eye on. And the images coming out of Iran, the dancing, the singing, the monuments to Khamenei being torn down, the chants of freedom, the tears of gratitude, these images from all over the world are going to define this moment far more than any poll taken 48 hours after the strikes began. As the dust settles, as the nuclear program is confirmed destroyed, as the Iranian people continue to celebrate their liberation, support for what Trump did is going to absolutely explode. Every single historical precedent shows us that when military operations succeed, when the mission is truly accomplished, public opinion swings dramatically in favor of the decision. And right now, the mission is succeeding beyond anyone's wildest dreams. The Democrats are watching this unfold, and they know they're in trouble. Their party is splitting. Their voters are breaking ranks. The Iranian diaspora, a traditionally Democrat-leaning community, is posting videos praising and thanking Trump. The media narrative is crumbling, and the midterm elections are less than 9 months away. This is exactly the kind of moment that reshapes political coalitions. And to our new Republican voters all across the nation that joined our party this weekend, we say, of course, in more ways than one, welcome home. Hey gang, if you want to ask me your questions directly and get real thoughtful answers, join me every Monday night for our members-only Q&A. It's where we slow things down, think clearly, and dive deep through what's really happening. Links below. Come join us.